You guys, we're back. Sean Javon, All 52 Podcast. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since we've been on. The World Cup is finished. NBA off season. Well, LeBron is attention seeking like always. So the NBA off season is not officially over yet, but some moves happened with like Lou Dort. I turned 42, and now I'm a fiance. That happened over the last 2 weeks. It's a lot of things have happened, man. You know how many finally text messages I got? It was crazy, but it's all a blessing. What's good, my brother John? What's good?
Oh man, no, that made my day when I saw that video. So congratulations to the Brysons. That sounds great to say.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All time now.
Yeah, no. While you were off in the DR enjoying the sun and getting engaged and whatnot, I'm down in Charlotte last Thursday. So it was a quick trip for me. I flew down Wednesday night and was supposed to fly back Thursday night. The problem is they had to do maintenance on the plane, so they delayed our flight by like an hour. I'm like, all right, that's cool, whatever. Then another delay. Yeah, the plane's out of service. We're going to try to find another plane for you guys. Then they come back like an hour later. Now they're still trying to work on this plane, see if they can get something going. We wound up waiting until a flight got in from Dallas to take us back to Syracuse. I didn't get home till like 4:00 Friday morning. And I still had
in the airport all day. You in the airport basically all day.
My flight was supposed to leave at like 9:00 Thursday night. I didn't get back up here till 4:00 Friday. Oh, it's always in Charlotte that something like this happens to me. Always during the season, that Clemson game. Listen, that weekend was one to remember. I'm just never going to forget it. We had to fly from Syracuse to Charlotte, and then from Charlotte to Greenville, and then we're going to drive from Greenville to Clemson. Right? We get to Charlotte, and our flight to Greenville is out of service because the plane ran into a daggone bird strike. So they got to fix that plane. And we had a rental car already reserved in Greenville. So now we stressing of, oh man, we got to make it to Greenville on time to get the car. Or else we have to wake up dumb early, and drive to the airport, get the car, and then drive all the way to Clemson for the game. So we made a decision. You know what? We're just going to take a cab from Charlotte to Greenville, which was expensive as all know. You know what? Just for when we get to Greenville, our plane landed at the same time as we got there. Oh, man. And then, of course, the next day, Steve Angeli pops his Achilles. And that was just a weekend, man. That was just a weekend.
I'm not even going to tell my story, what happened coming back from DR. I'm just happy I'm home because I had to stay overnight. My flight got canceled. They put us in a hotel for Fort Lauderdale. You know when you just want to go home? So the other day, I'm pretty sure you were just like, yo, I just want to be home. I just want to go home. And that's how I just felt. I was just like, man, I'm tired. I want to be home. But I don't know what happened with these airlines. It's about 2 times this year. I fly a lot. Cancel flights and whatever the case may be. Just canceling your flight. You're already at the airport and they cancel. It's like, yo, what am I supposed to be doing right now? So
already went through TSA.
Yeah, like if I didn't get to the airport already, I'm like, whatever. But when you get to the airport, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. You know? But that Charlotte airport is small, so I'm assuming there's not a lot of direct flights and stuff like that.
No, Charlotte. I don't think that's a small airport. I really don't.
It's not.
Nah, I wouldn't consider Charlotte. Actually, boy, that's one of the ones where you gotta walk in Charlotte. Nah, I wouldn't consider that small. Nah.
Okay. Maybe
I had Bojangles for the first time in like 4 years actually. So that was
you in the South then. You with your bunch of Bojangles.
I saw that in the airport. I said, well, I know what's going on the company card today.
Yo, that's a
Oh man.
fact. Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah.
Matter of fact, hey, you in DR? That mean you didn't catch any of this bad air we had back stateside. That's no, you in Atlanta. You wouldn't have caught any of it anyway.
No, but I heard about it. I heard that it was some bad weather, like all over the East Coast or something like that.
Sean, it was so bad. I wore a mask for the first time since COVID. I mean, I'm sitting there, I could feel the dust trying to get into my
Wow.
mouth. I went right back in the house, grabbed me a mask, and went on about my business, bro.
So you walked around with a mask the whole day?
Yeah, Wednesday. I went to the office for the morning before I came home, relaxed, and got on the flight. So I was happy to be in Charlotte when I was, because clean air, everything. I was happy. Because back in Syracuse, it was rough. The sky looked terrible. It was just bad.
Damn, that's wild. That's wild.
Well, New York City caught it as soon as I left, and it's just been bad overall in New York. Aaron Judge still isn't back for the Yankees, but over in Queens, the Mets are having a fire sale. Everyone not named Juan Soto, Nolan McLean, and a couple other young pieces are available. Meaning Francisco Lindor, who is just like that, become a terrible contract, is on the move. You got to find someone who even think about Brett Beatty and Mark Vientos. Lord have mercy. And Sean, I'll be honest with you. The Francisco Alvarez experiment is coming up on being over with. At least if I were calling the shots. Your thoughts on just a terrible summer in Queens?
Really disappointed. I think, like, I thought, again, I'm over my disdain for Juan Soto in this sense. The Yankees have been really good without Juan Soto, so the sum of the parts equal more than just that one player. So I'm over that a little bit, but I didn't expect this. And David Stearns, I loved what he did in Milwaukee, and actually Milwaukee has continued without him too. So maybe it's just the whole organization, the structure there. So I got to give credit for that organization. But it's been a horrible situation in New York, and especially your owner will spend everything. Him and Steve Ballmer, I think, the richest owners in sports, and so he'll spend anything, and nothing has really gone right for the Mets. For instance, Francisco Lindor, horrible. I don't know who would take that contract. I think you might have to incentivize people to take the contract with some additional prospects, because that's one of the worst contracts. But
you normally don't hear that in baseball. That's normally a basketball thing where you got to attach a draft pick to a terrible contract.
I remember years ago. Remember Adrian Gonzalez, the first baseman? Yep. So the Red Sox, when they realized was like, yo, that was a bad contract, they had to ship him out. And so it could be done. If they could be able to switch him out and get that money off the books, it'll be possible. But I'm just thinking he's not. I wouldn't consider him a top 10 shortstop anymore. And so I'm not. Who am I giving up for him? Who am I giving up? Like, prospects wise, that doesn't make sense. I think they could get something for Clay Holmes. He's having a good year. I think his ERA was like 250, 240 this year. He former Yankee arm. I'm kind of like, damn, he could have been a closer. No, he could have been a starter because he was our closer in New York. He was coming off the bullpen, but he's having a good year. Peralta, Luke Weaver, another Yankee. I think they can get some guys, but what they have to do, I think what big market teams fail to realize, you got to build it from within. Like the Dodgers still have the fourth best farm system in baseball, according to Baseball America, and they have the highest payroll in baseball. So you could combine the two, but just throwing money at people or a situation, it doesn't work in baseball. And like, I know we're talking about salary caps, and I know eventually we'll get into all that when it comes up more, but I think it's one of the few sports that there should be some type of limit, but money doesn't define, to me, that you're actually going to win the World Series. Like, you still have to have really good baseball players, and it has to be built the right way. And I think that's what the Mets have to do. They have to break it down to the studs and be like, all right, how do we build it the right way? And then spend on free agents when it's time, not just spending frivolously on free agents when you don't have the infrastructure to settle. But it's a good. If they can get off Lindor's contract, maybe attach a few prospects and start from scratch. Tell Juan Soto we're probably going to not be good for the next couple of years. He already got his money, $785. He's good. He's chilling. Maybe that's the way to go.
I just look at this team, And you said Stearns. I want to focus on him. I've got a college basketball equivalent for him this season.
What?
Shaka Smart.
My guy Shaka getting astray this morning.
hold on, because I love Shaka.
Yeah, same.
Love that VCU. Love what he was able to do the first few years at Marquette. I don't know what happened last season. But in between that was what, Sean?
Texas. Mm-hmm.
And it was not good. The big boys.
Yep. I know what you're gonna say. Yeah.
And the whole different operation, a lot more money at your disposal. Couldn't really handle.
He couldn't get it done.
I'm looking at Stearns. Did terrific in small town Milwaukee. Now you in Flushing, Queens. This is the Mets. It's
Mets.
This is the only team. I'll take it back. Never mind. I ain't gonna disrespect the Giants. Yeah. All right. Let me rephrase this. When you look at LA and all the major sports leagues, they clearly have an A team, and no one cares about the B teams, right?
Yep.
You go to New York, you take it to the NFL, the Giants are clearly far and away a better franchise than the New York Jets. Anyone who's a Jets fan just chooses to be an idiot. I'm just put it out there. Jets fans be offended. That's just how it is. You got this wonderful alternative in the Giants. Well, it ain't been a wonderful lately, but still, there's wonderful alternative in the Giants. You choose to be a Jets fan. You go to hockey. The Rangers are actually in the city. You got to take the Long Island Railroad to get to the Islanders. So, that makes your decision pretty simple. You go to basketball, no one gives a damn about the Nets. But you get to the Mets, you are in this position where you clearly are the inferior franchise, but boy, do you have a lot of fans that really, really love you. Matter of fact, Mets fans might be more passionate than Yankees fans.
Yeah.
You got a real job to get done and a lot of money to spend because you actually have more money than the Yankees these days. You are the Clippers, where you are the second show in town, but you've got more money than the show in town.
Wow, good analogy.
You got stuff to get done. And this has just been a misallocation of funds. There's just some people in life who just make better decisions when they're broke and just get by better when they just got enough to be comfortable than they do when they got a lot of cheese in their pocket. And it might just be a Stearns thing. You look at the team he's put together, you rank 25th in Major League Baseball in team batting average at 234. 234. You're 16th in home runs. Considering you let Pete Alonso walk this year, I can let you have that. Your team doesn't run. You're 24th in stolen bases. In pitching, I mean, Lord have mercy. You're scrolling. You have a 4.23 team ERA. Not good at all. So this is on him. This is a Shaka Smart season for David Stearns. And Cohen's got he says he's got all the support in the world for the guy, and he's not going anywhere. All right. Well, I think the best thing Cohen can do for Stearns is, hey, the bank of Cohen is closed.
Yeah.
I need you to do what you did in Milwaukee. And then when it's time to keep those guys around, then we'll give them the money. But I need you to develop this in a homegrown way, and our money is going to be used for retention. We don't need a big fish anymore. We got Soto.
You got Soto, yeah. You don't need it. The only thing I would go big fish hunter and getting Joey Cora to come and coach, be my manager. Alex Cora to be my manager. Joey Cora was a Seattle Mariner, but Alex Cora to be my manager. I would say, hey, what's it going to cost? World Series guy, $10 million at least. He's one of the better managers in baseball. That's the only guy, again, to change the structure of the organization. I want him to be my manager. That's the guy I'm going to go after to be the manager, because I don't think the Phillies are going to move off automatically. And I think those are the two jobs that.
Yeah, Donnie's staying around. You look at
Donnie
what he's
deserves it.
done with the Phillies since taking over. They have been the best team in the NL East since Donnie Baseball took the reins.
Oh, easy. I know we're going to talk about the team I live in, the city I live in soon, but yeah, Joey Cole is the only guy I'm saying we're not ready to get Tyreek Skubal. We're not going to spend $500 million or $400 million on him. We're going to go get the manager, and we're going to break this down to studs, and we're going to build from that way. That's exactly what the Mets need to do. If I hear them going after any of these big name free agents, but they're going to be used as leverage for now on. They're going to become what the Yankees used to be, because they know, teams and players know, hey, they have a big money owner, but it's not the right way to build it.
All right. Well, the team that is still somehow in first place in the NL East, Sean, the Braves, they lost 21 of their last 33 games. What has happened?
Well, a lot of people are saying Ronald Acuna hasn't played, but you don't lose 21 out of 33 if you're that good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just don't lose that many games if you're that good. And the pitching is not as when they were potent at the beginning of the year. Their pitching was potent. It hasn't been the same during this streak. They're a team that is probably this will be an un-Braves like move, but I do think I'm trying to go get Skubal if he becomes available in the next week or so, because I think in the National League, the Dodgers, the Phillies, the Brewers, I think you have to be able to one up them with that. If you have Chris Sale at the beginning of your rotation, Skubal at the beginning of your rotation, I think that's going to be the recipe, for them to get to the post, get in the postseason and actually make some noise. But this slump, and like you said, their hot start at the beginning of the season has saved them, because, 21 out of 33 losses, that's a lot. That's a lot. And the Phillies are right on the heels. What is it? I just pulled it up. The Phillies like 2.5. Let me see the standings. I think the Phillies are 3 games out, and the Phillies started the season really slow. So now it's like a reversal of both teams. So I would not be surprised. We still got another 2.5 months of regular season baseball. I would not be surprised if the Phillies catch them and take over the National League. But if I'm the Braves, I think you have to either go get a big bat or go. And I don't know who's the bat available, but I think you go get you another starting pitcher, because the pitching staff has been not the same since over the last month or so.
Yeah, and I think they could use a way to manufacture some runs, right? You rank bottom 10 in stolen bases, but you're still top 10. Despite all this, you're still top 10 in team ERA. You're still top 10 in team batting average. You're still top 10 in home runs. You need something to just get you by. Get somebody who can just get over the second, because they're seeing the ball. It's like you said, the pitching is what has fell off in this last month. So get somebody who can get over and add to your run total just a little bit more. And yeah, why not go after Skubal? Where's the Braves running pipeline right now?
I don't see why not, because it's like I said, it's an un-Braves like move to do that in the regular season. I don't remember the last big name bat or pitcher they tried to go after, but the National League is so tight race. We'll put the National League standards with you got the Brewers, you got the Braves, you got the Phillies, the Cubs. Even though I'm not sold on the Cubs, the National League Central is just
they do feel like a team that can just get cold real quick.
Yeah, because they strike out too much. They strike out too much, and they don't provide the most strikeouts. They won, I think, bottom 5 in strikeouts as a pitching staff. In baseball, you have to, especially in the postseason, you got to be able to strike people out. And then you got the Dodgers, right? So for me to consider the Braves real contenders like I did, I thought that there's a 2-team race, Braves and Dodgers. They have to get another hitter, or another impact hitter or impact pitcher. And I think Listen, you go into a postseason series with Chris Sale's number one, Scoogle number one, Chris Sale's number two, you got a chance.
Yes. Their issue is their farm system is 24th right now.
Yeah.
So, I don't know who you have available that's going to be enticing the Indy front office, especially for big fish hunt. You're probably going to have to try to find a way to improve around the margins, which means you're taking advantage of fire sales. But yeah, 21 of 33, that's rough. If I were a betting man, I'd put some cheese on the Phillies to come from behind and take over the East before the start of the postseason.
Well, I would say this: any team that's in the National League right now, American League probably not, but the National League, if he goes to the LA and they have the farm system to go get him for either as a rental, how do you compete with that? Like already the Dodgers are the Dodgers, right? But there are a lot of injuries on their pitching staff. But if you add Scuba to the top of that rotation, how do you compete with that? That's my thought process too, because they have the prospects to move on from him and try to re-sign him in the offseason too.
Well, you mentioned the Dodgers in pitching. That's a great segue because Shohei Ohtani's pitching future is in doubt. We don't know if he'll pitch again this season. And the wear and tear on his arm apparently is starting to catch up. How long does this experiment really need to last?
I think we both could say Ohtani's a Hall of Famer already, right? So he's already a Hall of Famer, and he's a 4-time MVP. He's a Hall of Famer already, right? Yeah. And he has 2 World Series rings on the best team of this last 5-10 year span, whatever. So I think that we already see, hey, he's the greatest 2-way player in baseball history. No disrespect to Babe Ruth, but he wasn't that guy with that. So he don't need to do it anymore. Like I just personally don't see. He's a great pitcher. Well, let's give him credit. He's a great pitcher. But just the 4 or 5 year span that he's done it, no one's done it at that level. And so he's always going to be the standard of that. Because there might be another kid 10 years from now, 20 years from now, and they're going to be compared to Ohtani. I don't think it's worth, unless the only way it works, and I don't know how it will work like this, maybe he becomes a reliever down the line, but consistently, I just think there's a lot of wear and tear on him. He's 32 years old, 31, 32 years old. And I know that's young in life, but that's a lot of wear and tear playing, pitching and hitting. He keeps consistently having issues with his arm. I think he don't need it to do it anymore. We already know he's the standard. He's going to be top 5 greatest player of all time to me. I wouldn't do it anymore.
Yeah. So what shocks me about it, and why I didn't think he'd have these problems, he bats righty, right? Excuse me.
Yep.
He hits lefty, and he doesn't play the field anymore. So, like, his right arm actually has time to recover, at least I thought. But clearly it's too much strain on him. So when that is the case, it's like you're the doctor. You can pay for more pitching. And like you can get Schoolboy on a rental this year. Maybe Ohtani's a guy that you wait until after the break to pitch from here on out. You know?
I didn't think about that.
First half of the season, you're DHing or you're playing in the outfield. And then after the break, where some of the arms start getting worn down, then we'll start letting you pitch so you'll be ready for the postseason. I think that's the best path for it, because I don't think when you got something that special, you just throw it away. And you are paying him as much as you're paying him. Although it's deferred, you're paying him as much as you're paying him to be 2 players. So you can't just throw that away. And
hold on. I would say that. I do see what you're saying. The excitement of him playing both sides is what makes him $700 million guy. Okay. But
it's a business at the end of the day.
It is. And what he does for Japan and what they do for their organization, they make a lot of money over there because of him. He's the biggest star at that place. And Juan Soto's getting $785. And I think he's just as good of a hit as Juan Soto.
Hey, Soto's bad contract ain't got nothing to do with me.
Come on.
That's what I'm saying. If I'm him, if I'm the Dodgers, what they decide to give Soto ain't got nothing to do with us.
All right, good point. But I'm just saying the market's not the market anymore just because someone surpassed the number. And again, let's be real. Based off of just his hitting alone, I think he's worth $700 million. And what he brings to the organization, I think he's worth $700 million. I think he's the biggest star in baseball, him and Aaron Judge. I think that's worth $700 million. So I don't see anything not. I just see he deserves every dollar he gets. I think he should be playing. He should, even if he just hits, it's okay. It's a win-win for the Dodgers. But his aura of being a two-way player, I get it. It makes him special. It makes him one-on-one. It's why people come and pack the stands to see him, because we've never seen a player do what he does. And we're probably never going to see a player in our lifetime do what he does at this higher level. But I do like Javon's idea about maybe pitching him in the second half of the year. I like that idea. I love that idea. If he can only, Roger Clemens did it before, and he came back in July for the Yankees, and he pitched. So the Dodgers have enough resources now. Let's see what's going to happen with the Dodgers if the new CBA kicks in, is some level of salary cap. How long will they have? But if you have Roger Clemens set the standard with doing that, I don't see it as a thing that can't be done, just pitching in the second half. I think one of the problems, and I was going to say this, Javon, I want your thoughts on it. I think one of the things they've done with Ohtani, and that's one of the things I think they do in baseball now, I think they baby these pitchers, and I think that affects their arm more than anything else.
We've said that on this podcast for years.
And they baby Ohtani in the Angels system and when they got to the Dodgers, like 5 innings here. I think that has been a negative effect. In Japan, those guys are pitching like how they used to pitch back before.
They're still going 7 innings.
Easily. So I think that's what affects Ohtani as well. Is like they baby him 5 good innings, 6 good innings. We gotta, and I get it. He plays both sides, but I don't mean to disrespect baseball, but baseball, he's hitting all the time. He's not playing a demand in center field or a shortstop position or a catcher. He's playing DH. So when he's pitching that one every 5 days, what are you babysitting him for? I think that's really hurt Ohtani. I think that's what's hurt. It's a lot of what baseball is now, but especially when you come from Japan, they pitch 7 innings, and it's like a badge of honor. He comes over here, he's not pitching 7 innings like that, and so I think that's hurt his arm, and I think that's affected him a lot.
Yeah. All right, well, Sean, the Dodgers got Mookie Betts from the Red Sox. They are steaming hot. They are now on a 14-game winning streak after snapping my Orioles 7-game streak. By the way, I was watching that game, and I said if we do not score in the top of the 8th inning, this game's over, because they're going to score in the bottom of the 8th and put us away in the top of the 9th, and that's exactly what happened. 6-5. Orioles had 4 errors in that game. Just did not deserve to win. Whatever. Craig Albanese, he can go right in hell right along with Brandon Hyde and Mike Elias. But anyways, the Red Sox, 14-game winning streak. They hold the last wild card spot. They have a 1.5 game lead against Seattle and a 3-game lead against the Orioles. They've got 3 more games with the Orioles left in this series, including a doubleheader today. It's crazy how month and a half ago we were talking about the Sox. It's such a disappointment, and the team that's on fire say, "Oh, watch," to now they are buyers at the deadline, and they can once again scare the Yankees and possibly provide a scare to the Rays. This is the best turnaround I've seen in a little while.
You got hot. They got hot. I can't lie. Not just because the Yankee Red Sox thing. I'm not gonna lie about that. Obviously, it's not the same like it was 20 years ago. But I'm gonna say this: Craig Bledsoe, the general manager, I was rooting against him because I thought he did Alex. Why do you call him Joey? Alex Cora dirty. I thought he did him dirty because it was a battle, a struggle. He went to ownership. When the general manager has the ear of the owners, he's like, all right, blah blah blah. But listen, He saved his job. They're playing really good baseball, and their pitching was the one carrying them, even when they were not really good. But their pitching. The guys are hitting. I give them a lot of credit. And they look like a scary team. They look like a scary team that when, and especially the AL East right now, where they 6.5 games out from the Rays, only 4.5 games out of the Yankees. And I'll be real, my Yankees haven't looked good playing baseball over the last.
And they haven't looked good against the Red Sox in particular for about 2-3 years now.
Yeah, the Red Sox are only Yankees. And so I think it's impressive. Are we like, should we be, they had the talent. Let's be real. At the beginning of the year, I thought they were going to be better than they were. So like, they just put it together at the right time. 14-game winning streak, have a chance to get 15. Very, very impressive. And so, again, I can't lie. I was not rooting for them, just not being haters, just like I thought Breslow did dirty. But they should be buyers because they do have they have a chance, especially in the AL, which is, I don't remember in my lifetime, been watching baseball for over 20 plus years, that it's been this bad, the American League. I think it's a lot of mediocre teams in the American League.
Yes.
I can remember one time it's been this mediocre.
Mediocrity is the definition of the AL West right now, by the way. 51-50 is first place. 51-51 is second place. Like, that's the thing. We can transition to this. I don't know who should be sellers at the deadline. Like, is Houston the cut line when you look at the wild card race?
I'm looking at it right now, right?
Because Alvarez is probably going to win the Triple Crown. So you can't sell when he's playing that good, right? And you're only 4 games out of it. But like Detroit, you're going to lose Skubal. He had such a great year last year, and you stink this year. Toronto, hold on. Sean, I'm going to go ahead and make you happy with this. Cal Raleigh and Vlad Jr. Y'all were so great last year. Y'all have a combined 13 home runs this year. And don't get me started on your other numbers. Yeah, like outside of Alvarez, Aaron Judge is the best player in the American League. Let's just.
Oh, yeah. That's not even.
You got it. You got it.
Yeah,
like, that type of inconsistency makes me itch. It is disgusting. I mean, it would seriously discourage me from any lucrative deal. Period. But that is ridiculous. But yeah, like I think Houston's the last team on the cut line. Detroit, sell. Toronto, sell. Oakland, great start to the season. Then you became garbage again. Sell. Kansas City, hey, Bobby Witt Jr., free yourself.
Facts.
And then of course the Angels. I mean,
we've been saying about the Angels for years.
Artie Moreno's on the list, bro. He's on the list.
Oh, no. He's on the list, so you always call that list out. He's bad.
On the list.
Until
that day comes, ain't no saving the Angels.
He is bad. I can't even disagree with that. Now I would say that's the cutoff list, but this with so many people trying to buy at the who's out there to get, like,
and that's the other thing. Some of these teams have to be realistic with themselves. Teams that I didn't mention was like, are you going to get anyone at the deadline? And are they going to be worth it? Like, are they going to transform your team or at least plug those desperate holes that you need filled? If not, then you need to sell too.
Like, I'm going to be real. I'm going to look at the list. Who can really, again, you guys go on a 7-game winning streak, and you guys have some talent. So I'll keep you guys at that team. If you wanted to buy, I wouldn't be mad at you. I don't think the Twins, Tigers, or Royals should be buyers at all. And then in the American League West, Rangers, Mariners, I could be okay with. And like you said, I'm fringe on the Astros. But a lot of these teams, like, who are you going to get? Like, and if you're to the Tigers, are you trading Skubal to the American League, or do you care? Because you might lose him anyways as a free agent. Like, I think it's just a lot of, I don't know. I just think the American League has a lot of mediocrity. I think it's the worst I've seen. And I'm like, look at it. Maybe Minnesota will convince themselves, but they should definitely be. Brian Buxton needs to be traded. Brian Buxton. It's just, it's bad. I think this is really bad. But the Red Sox definitely should be buyers. They have a great chance to win the American League East, and they have too much talent. They've had a lot of talent to even be where they were at the beginning of the season. So, am I surprised? Should we give people standing ovations for doing what they said they should have been doing? No, but you got to give them credit for turning their season around. Same with what Philadelphia did. I give them both credit of Philly turning their season around because there were two teams that were too much talented to be in the position they were. So, yeah, they climbed out the hole. I got to give them credit.
All right. Yes or no? Does Jordan Alvarez win the Triple Crown?
Let's see these numbers. Hold on. 326, 33 home runs, 75 RBIs. Yeah, why not? Like I'm just gonna pull up the American League. 30. Yeah, he leads it by 4 home runs or.
Yeah, he leads by 4 home runs. The second best in average is 312. And
yeah,
RBI is not even close. Ben Rice is 7 behind.
Yeah, it's his award to win. It's his Triple Crown. Like it. I saw something last night. I never knew this. The Dodgers traded him for so he was a product of the Dodger system. I never knew that. And I was like, wow. And that kid can hit. There's just been injuries with him that's been his issue, but he can hit. But yeah, Aaron Judge is not available. That would be the only guy I thought would be able to challenge him for any of these things. But the key is the batting average. He's 14 points above Diaz right now. That's a lot. Someone to make up. That's a lot. Unless he goes on a terrible slump.
He just can't go on a slump. That's what I was about to say. He can't go on a slump.
Yeah, that's a big gap. So yeah, it's his to win. And I'm assuming if the Astros stay in the race, quote unquote, he's the MVP. I don't think it's close.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Nothing to add.
Yeah.
All right, Sean, the MBPA, who are the ones who signed the collective bargaining agreement in the first place, are calling for either a removal or a softening of the second apron. You got to sleep in the bed that you make.
I'll let you go first. Yeah.
That's all. No. I'm just leaving it at that.
They want to leave that. Well, I'm going to say a few things. I do think I've not been a fan of it. At least I'm being consistent. I've never been a fan of it. And the OKC Thunder is the prime example. They traded 3 position players,
who weren't playing players. For them.
Lou Dort played.
Lou Dort's the exception. But that contract, you got to think what they were going to pay Lou Dort. Is he worth it?
No.
So either way, it's a smart business deal.
No, I get that. It's just like Sam Presti said, it was financial. We had to move on from because financial decision because the extra luxury taxes we're going to have to pay. And so this apron is their goal to make it like the NFL. They spread the talent around, but you're safe. It's also hurting. I think you're hurting teams who draft well and develop well, and you're trying to help teams like the Sacramento Kings who don't know how to do either. If you have bad organizations and bad ownership, that's bad organizations and bad ownership. So you're trying to save them from themselves. That does not make sense to me. And I think we have to do something. I know it's going to be an issue in 2028-29 season after it's over. It's like, I don't see how this is benefiting the game. Do you think this is, I want to see teams try to knock off OKC. It felt good. It was amazing to watch the Spurs, a young team, knock off OKC. It's okay. Like, we're making it easy for teams to, like, we have to spread the talent around. I don't see the point of doing that. I think it's stupid. I don't like the second apron. The Celtics had to move Jaylen Brown because of the second apron. Like, what happened to developing your own guys, and you should be able to keep them at a certain percentage of the cap? That's it. Okay. You don't want to talk about Aaron Wiggins? Okay. Or you don't, those guys, Isaiah Joe, those guys on the back of the bench. Cool. Whatever. And they're probably better off getting better opportunities in Atlanta and Detroit. But I developed Lou Dort. and now he was there for 7, 8 years. He was a core player. If I wanted to go over the luxury tax to keep him and not be hampered by these stupid aprons, that it's not just the money. The aprons affects your draft picks and what you can actually move in trades. It's a hard cap. It's the dumbest thing. Every time I see something, I say blame CJ McCollum because he was part of that deal. You're a player. What made this a good deal for players? I get it for the owners. I get it for the owners. But what made this good for the players? And what you're doing, and I know Vincent Goodwill, is that his name? Mm-hmm. Got a lot of crap about this. But he's kind of made it true in this aspect. It's the easiest time to win an NBA championship. And I'm not discrediting any of these teams who won an NBA championship. But when you can't keep your teams together, look at the Nuggets and the Celtics from 3 years ago and 2 years ago. They're completely different teams. And that's because of these aprons. They're not even close to the same teams anymore. And again, bad contracts and things of that nature, I get that. But the Celtics, prime example, aren't bad contracts. Porzingis, Holiday,
I feel more sorry for the Celtics than the Nuggets.
Yes, it's affected their whole team. They had to get rid of their second best player. Like that, they didn't. I get Michael Porter Jr. and all that stuff, so whatever. But the Celtics built the team, a really good team, and they have really good players. And but they couldn't keep them because of the second apron. And those are the last 2 championships. So what are you doing to OKC? You're stripping them little by little. The next team that's going to be there is San Antonio. San Antonio's up next because they're not going to be able to keep everybody. De'Aaron Fox will be gone in a year or 2. We all know that. That's a given, right? But Julian Penny will be gone as well. Luke Kennard will be gone as well. It doesn't make sense to me. I think that's not how do you define and spread out talent. So I'm all for getting rid of the second apron. And I didn't sign that second apron, so I have every right to say that.
Let me tell you why I'm going to jump over. Yeah, CJ, shut up talking about it because this is your baby. Let me tell you why I'm jumping over to your side of the equation. I seriously want to just grab some baby oil, rub my hands up, wind it all the way back, and smack the hell out of Adam Silver's bald ass head. When he was asked about Jaylen Brown in particular, he said, well, it isn't like this isn't an intended consequence. So you actually support teams having to break up homegrown dynamic duos. You think that's fire.
That makes no sense.
Like yo, David Stern, this is what you left in charge of the NBA. Like he should be rolling in his grave because this is disgusting. When he said that, I said it's over. I won't argue with Sean anymore. Do I still have my opinions on some of these front offices need to be held accountable for these horrible contracts? Yes. Like I still no sympathy for Denver or anything like that. But I mean, you telling me I literally cannot have a dynamic duo like that anymore?
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
And because wasn't the Supermax...
So now it's like, I'm be honest with you, Sean. It ain't the best team winning anymore.
No, and that was my point.
Like, I'm being forced to break up. Like, I should be able... I think bird rights is probably one of the smartest things ever in sports. If I drafted you and you are that guy, I can go over the cap to keep extending your contract.
Yes.
But the trade-off for that is I can't go out and sign anyone else. I think that is perfectly fair.
I'm okay.
I really do.
Yeah.
And you keep the luxury tag. And I'm fine with there being different tiers of luxury tags. If you're such and such percentage over the cap, you pay this amount of tax. And it just keeps escalating. But like, and again, this is still, let's remember, billionaire owners, they could keep their rosters together and pay that tax. But at some point, it's like, do I see both sides of the coin? Absolutely. But the fact that Silver likes this was the intended consequence. That did it for me. it's hard for me to make any counter arguments.
Yeah,
because
and
as
I think
logical as I think they may be, him saying this was the purpose throws all of it out the window.
I think when you're doing that, again, it discredits titles, and I think that's the wrong way to do, because at the end of the day, next year, San Antonio and OKC will probably be the two favorites going into the year. But I don't know if that's going to be the same case in 2 years from now, because they're just going to have to keep tearing away from the teams. Remember, Shea's contract hasn't extended yet. Dylan Harper's still on a rookie contract. Frank Castle's still on a rookie contract. So we're saying a team like Philadelphia that has one of the worst contracts in the league with Joel Embiid. Worst contracts in the league with Joel Embiid is a favorite to win the East because of this attendant consequences that they had to take from their rival that they beat in the playoffs. Their contract in the best one of their best players. That doesn't make sense. I think it's the wrong way to do it, and they need to switch it. For max players, I'm cool with Lou Dortz and stuff like that overall. I'm just kind of like whatever. But you're setting up, Wemby, Jalen Brunson, you need to take less money so you can build out a team. That's not how it should be. That's not how it should be. You should be able to go develop your guys, keep them, and pay them when they deserve. That's it. It's a bad thing. I'm not a big fan of the second apron, and it needs to be. I hope it gets changed in 3 years.
So, I saw a list yesterday that I thought was interesting. Somebody put the top 3 cat eaters for each franchise, and illustrated this in a great way. Instead of putting their money, and I'm sending it to you now, like how much money they make per year, what they did was put how much of the salary cap they take up. And it gives you a new perspective on building these teams. And it just makes you feel terrible for Boston, right? While in the same, like Jason Tatum makes 35.4% of the cap.
Yep.
And Jaylen Brown makes 35% of the cap. If they want to keep those two and keep drafting and extending who they can, because at some point you get guys who are too good where you gotta let them go. Like you can't go but so far over the cap, right? That's fine. But if they wanted to keep with those two the whole time, they should have been able to. Now this does go back to the problem that me and you said. No contract should be worth 35% of the cap.
Never.
The NBA messed up with that on they completely messed up the Supermax system. And the Silver just ain't done nothing right. But still, they wanted to go forward that path. They should be allowed to. But then it goes back to my point on some of these guys. Like, hey, Denver, you got Jamal Murray making 30% of the cap. You're not going to win like that. That's on you.
That's on you, yep.
You know, the Lakers. Luka doesn't play defense, and he's making 30% of the cap. And Austin Reeves just ain't that guy whatsoever, and he's making a quarter of the cap. You ain't going nowhere with it. But then you go to OKC, J. Will, Chet, and Shea, all at 25%. Your top 3 players take up 75% of your cap, and the other 25 is to build out your roster. That's perfect. That backs up our claim from the last time we were on the pod. The Supermax should have been capped at 25%. So even if you want to have the big 3, you got 25% of the cap to fill out your roster.
Absolutely.
Or if you want to go the dynamic duo route, you got 50% of the cap to fill out your roster. So I think they just messed up the Supermax tier to begin with. And then you make it worse with the second apron restrictions. That's just awful.
Like, and people are scared of it.
The Spurs are the team I fear the most in terms of being screwed over. Because right now, Wemby's extension hasn't kicked in yet. Harper's going to have to get one. Probably going to give one to Cash. You know who's making 30% of the cap for the Spurs right now?
De'Aaron Fox.
And that's an awful contract. Now, that's on them for making that trade that we both said they did not need to make.
You'd have to extend them right then. Yeah, you could have waited.
And they didn't have to extend them. But, like, they're about to be screwed over. So, like,
Yes.
again, I do wish these GMs would stop. Like, it's the same thing in college football. I hate these coaches that do all this complaining about NIL. It's the way of the world. Get with it or get gone. I need these GMs to get the same thought process. Like, okay, hey, at some point, you got to accept that the second apron is here and it's here to stay. Get with it or get gone. So get smart about your contracts. But at the same time, we all make mistakes. And there's no way to even get away from your mistake. You can't even correct your mistake then.
You're going to have to trade De'Aaron Fox with 1 or 2 first-round picks.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense because you're not going to – you have your big 3, and you want to keep Champagnie and some of those other key guys. And Carter Bryant, you want to keep those guys. You're going to have to trade him with the first-round pick or 2 just to move off that contract so you go pay your own guys. That's one of the worst systems I've ever heard in my life. It does not make sense. You're destroying good teams. Again, the Celtics, Nuggets are prime example. We can say the Celtics are the big example. The Celtics were screwed by the NBA. And if I was the owner of the Celtics, I would be heated at Adam Silver and those guys because that's the attendant consequences. Listen, maybe they can't keep Porzingis and Holiday and all those guys. I'm okay with that. I'm not okay with you can't keep Jaylen Brown and build around Jaylen Brown and Derek White and Jason Tatum. And then after that, figure it out. If you have to draft better role players, that's where the front office come in. Drafting the role players, hitting on your second round draft picks. I'm cool with that consequence. But you should be able to have big 2s in your team. And that's it. But I do agree with you 100% about the contracts. But yo, let me get my charger and then I'll be right back.
All right. But the other point to this, because the talking point is that it's the NBPA asking for a softening or removal. This is one of those typical, you got consequences in life. Like no one forced you to agree with this. Baseball is most likely going to go into a work stoppage because their players union is actually smart. They're not going to agree to anything that they don't want to. If they don't want a salary cap, they're not going to agree to it. They don't want this, they don't want that, they're not going to agree to it. They don't want a new draft system with reduced rounds and a separate international draft. They're not going to agree to it. So, the Players Association did not have to sign on to this thing. So you can't be the one calling for a removal when your ink is on the dotted line.
You gotta wait it out. You gotta wait out to next labor agreements.
This is on you. So now, start taking it serious and paying attention instead of being a group of dumbasses.
Yeah, horrible. I don't know how they let this pass.
This is stuff you expect from the NFLPA, not the NBPA.
Exactly. And you know how hard it's going to be for you to come back and say, hey, remove some of these restrictions. Or, all right, you already agreed to it. Like, it was one of the dumbest things. Like, the NFL, it's probably the worst salary cap system, I think, in sports. Franchising guys and all that stuff, I think it's horrible. But they've been doing it forever. But why would you even set yourself up? That's why I understand the Major League Baseball players. Even though I think that there needs to be some form of cap in baseball. But I understand. Once you agree to it, it's really hard to reverse it.
Yeah.
That's what the NBA is at.
All right. So we got next.
So we got summer league recaps. We had some of the biggest, all the young kids played in the summer league. Who's some guys you were impressed with, some guys you wasn't impressed with?
Well, I'm going to start off with my old man right here. Summer league ain't the same. The guys sit out too early. Number one. And number two, when they were having it in Orlando, I remember the quality of basketball was great. These games were awful.
Blowups.
Because no one knows how to run an offense without a coach drawing plays, which coaches don't do anymore. Like, they don't know how to move without the ball, how to screen for their teammates. And all these guys think their way to get to the league is going to be to keep jacking up as many threes as you can and hope they fall. It was disgusting. This was a bad summer league. However, was I wrong about Caleb Wilson? He further cemented that Hubert Davis needed to be fired. This kid has been able to do all of this, and you had him screening, rolling, and sitting in the dunker spot all year.
Yeah.
Especially, let's consider Carolina's problems right now. They haven't sent an all-star to the NBA since Anton Jameson and Vince Carter back in 98. They lose all the 5 stars to Duke these days, and it was Kentucky, now it's Arkansas. UConn's getting in on that mix. And you had a chance to finally entice everyone to come to Carolina again with Caleb Wilson. And you wasted him like this, Hubert? Hubert doesn't need another job in college basketball. It's that simple. Caleb Wilson, I was mad at the Bulls for taking you. I thought they should have gotten Acuff. You get a pass from me. My attention flips over to Memphis, who I also said should have gotten Acuff. He shouldn't even fell to Chicago. They needed a guard to replace John Morant. They didn't. And they went ahead with Cam Boozer. Good player. Still think should have got a guard. Or Michael Brown. Michael had a great summer league.
Michael looked good.
I like what I saw from the backcourt duo of him and Yegor Demon is going to be good in Brooklyn. I said it with Demon when he first came out. I'm going to say it again. That is a good basketball player. The backcourt of him and Michael Brown Jr. is going to be good in Brooklyn. I just feel sorry for them for having to put up with Michael Porter Jr. and Julius Randle this year. But back to Chicago. Sean, look at that roster. Giddey, Norm Powell, Montas Buzelis, Caleb Wilson, and Nick Claxton. Tell me in the East, if their bench is just halfway decent, that ain't a playing team. You got Trey Jones off the bench. You got Jalen Smith off the bench. Rob Dillingham. I'm talking to you like this. You can have yourself in 6-man conversations this year because a lot of what the Bulls can do is going to be predicated on him. And what Noah Singway can turn into. You got Zach Collins as your backup big. If that bench shows up, the Bulls should easily be in the play-in. And I mean the 7-8 portion of the play-in. I like that roster.
Damn. Guys at 7-8. I respect what the Bulls did because the rules of the NBA draft doesn't entice you to tank. So they were like, oh, we're going to just go get some guys who could play. Like Norman Powell, Nick Claxton, they can play. Like Zach Collins is a solid backup big. But I agree with you. I think that Bulls team is very solid. I think it's a great job by the new general manager, Graham. I think Graham Bryson. That's the name, Graham Bryson. And I think, and I gotta say this. The star for me was Caleb Wilson. Like, I saw some of the comparisons like a young KG and stuff like that. I'm like, but
I don't see Kevin Garnett at all. I just don't.
What do you see?
I see more of an offensive ceiling than Kevin Garnett. Caleb Wilson actually can play the small forward. I'm be honest with you, Sean. When I go back and look at those old All-Star games, I hate seeing Kevin Garnett at the 3. I really
He was at the 3. Yeah, he was at the 3.
Tim Duncan and Shaq, I hate seeing it. Just being honest.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hate seeing Caleb Wilson play the 3 at all.
I think this is going to be listen, the 4 guys got into the right situation for all 4 of them in the right teams. I'd be surprised if these 4 aren't all-stars level type of talent. I'm talking about the Banster, Peterson, Wilson, and Boozer. This draft might be really special, and I think Wilson has a chance. After seeing him more, so he has a chance to be the best one.
He was like the best one in the summer league.
Oh, he definitely did.
Oh no, granted, I ain't gonna do that to Peterson because Peterson saw double and triple teams during the summer league. Like
crazy.
that said enough about his talent and how he was getting his shots off. And Sean, he came in here talking about I want to be the point guard. I want the ball in my hands.
That's
why I didn't enjoy my time at Kansas. And he left out saying, I'm cool with playing more of the two.
As long as they don't
like I'm telling you, these players don't know what's best for themselves. Like Darren Peterson, you're that good of a scorer. You do not want the ball in your hands all the time, buddy. You do not. Like there is a reason Shai Gilgeous and the Thunder lost in Game 7. Because Shai has the ball in his hand so much, his legs went out. And all those tough shots he's making in the first 3 quarters, they couldn't fall in the fourth. If he had another ball handler next to him, OKC probably wins Game 7. So, yeah, Darren, go ahead, let the Jazz get you a point guard. So I don't think him and Keontae George together is smart. Keontae George is another 2 guard. Let them get you a point guard. So I'm glad Darren Peterson learned that, I don't need to be running the one. And that shows some side of maturity from him, which is always great for a young player.
Yeah, but same way you were talking about Caleb Wilson, where was Bill Self having Darren Peterson just play catch and shoot though? I think at some point he could have more exposure playing with the ball in his hands.
I don't think Self had him at catch and shoot. I won't even go that far with it. I just will say he needed to bring the ball up a little more. I will say that. Because even with Mike and Kolb and T-Mac, like, they brought the ball up a decent share. To go get theirs off the dribble.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
Instead of having to catch and get it off the dribble in the half court. I mean, at least gain some steam. And not have to be limited by catch and stand still. So I will say Self didn't do enough of that. But I do think how he had Peterson playing prepared him a bit for the NBA in terms of, like, you're going to want someone bringing the ball up for you.
And can we be real that I think Peterson, like we said a couple of shows ago, that boy didn't want to be at Kansas. I think it was clear he was saving himself for the league.
Him and Michael Brown are showing.
Yeah.
Bring back the 18-year-old.
Yeah.
Like,
they didn't want to.
You know what? Forget it. You don't have to go to college. As soon as you're 18, you can come to
get out.
NBA.
Yeah, just get to the league. Some guys just did not want to.
Speaking of which, AJ DeBanson, because he would have been the one out of this class that went straight from high school to the NBA. Brother, that jump shot needs work.
That's why all that T-Mac comparison stuff, I don't see that.
I told you that was terrible when they first came out. And on this show, it was you and Oak. I was like, that's a terrible comparison. I don't see T-Mac. And then he feeds into it by saying T-Mac's like one of his favorite players to watch. But then you listen to him talk. AJ DeBanson don't really know too much history of basketball. So that's always a red light to me personally, but whatever.
Yeah.
But buddy, it's not T-Mac at all.
It's not T-Mac. I don't know the comp, but I
told you I think he's closer to LeBron. Get downhill, use his athleticism, 2 feet, kick it out to the shooters. I don't see T-Mac whatsoever.
You have to watch some more. I see some. I can't lie. A better offensive version of Ron Artest. I see that sometimes because he can do the bully ball type of style.
The basket. You're really downplaying. Oh my!
No. I don't mean disrespect. The kids. I just said all 4 of those kids are going to be special, and they could be special. I just I don't. Yeah, I just don't see T-Mac. That's what I was definitely saying. I definitely don't see T-Mac because T-Mac
Artest crazy.
Artest was a good offensive player. Not great.
Early on. But early good. On. Not great. Good.
Yeah, he was.
That's watching that dad going Malice in the Palace documentary. I'm sitting here looking at Steven Jackson. I'm like, y'all can relax. Y'all not winning no championship. Ron Artest is your number 1 scoring option. That was not happening.
But that's my point. Ron Artest was the number 1 scoring option at some point when Indiana. He was an all-star. I gotta give him credit for
that. Was there anyone else that stood out to you?
Did I say Acuff? Acuff was good. He's gonna be. Sacramento should be blessed. They're gonna have that kid bringing in fans.
The shot selection got to improve a bit, but I get all that out the system in the summer league. I'm fine.
Yeah. No, get that out of your system the first couple of years in Sacramento. Do whatever the hell you want in Sacramento.
Yeah, Sacramento. Do what you want. Say it again.
Do what you want, man. I could care less. But the kid's gonna be. I wouldn't be surprised if he's averaging 20 to 25 off the rip in the NBA, just because how in that team let him go, let him play. But yeah, just I was just very impressed with the guys, the lottery picks. No one really disappointed me, but I was very impressed with the lottery picks.
I think Liam McNeely is ready for a jump this year. He averaged 21 in the summer league and shot 52.6 from three. I think Milwaukee's happy with Braden Burris.
Braden looked good, actually. I forgot about that. In the open court with the space, he looked really good. He looked like more impressive. I'm like, oh shoot. Yeah, I would give credit for him.
Washington with Trey Johnson, AJ DeBanson, and Will Riley. You do know those are the 2, 3, and 4 leading scorers in the summer league this year. Trey Johnson only played one game, by the way. He got his 26 and was out. Like, Washington's up. Yeah, he don't need to play. All right, it's cool. I'm telling you, I like Trey Johnson. But yeah, Trey AJ and Will Riley each averaged 25. And AJ's 25 was inefficient, by the way. 39% and 9% from three. That is disgusting. Oh, Lord. Meanwhile, Will Riley took 5 threes a game and shot 70% from deep and 54% from the field. Washington walked out of this happy. And can we talk about Malik Thomas? 27 points a game in his 4 games? I mean, was Darius Acuff holding him back at Arkansas? My goodness.
Malik was a top prospect coming out of high school, right?
Yeah. In Cleveland, don't mess. I'm telling you, Sean, I really think Cleveland should slime James Harden out. You got Malik Thomas and Jalen Tyson. You don't need James Harden, man. You got options at the 2-guard spot. Everyone's a point guard these days, right? Go ahead and let Donovan run the 1. He's so small, he don't need to be guarding 2s anyway. Slime James Harden out. Let Jalen Tyson and Malik Thomas take over on the wing, man.
Yo, I think James Harden might shoot up a building. Someone did that. If he gets slimed out again, like Philadelphia did, and Daryl Morey for this contract. I'm just saying, he took an option.
You play like that in the playoffs every year.
By the way, and we can save this to the end of the show. Milwaukee giving Gary Trent Jr. 4 years guaranteed money.
They're about to investigate the Bucks.
Oh, they are?
Like, yeah, because people are like, this is so fishy. Like, you clearly gave him an under-the-table deal when he first signed. Like, yeah, let us underpay you now and we'll overpay you afterwards. And that's exactly what happened.
I saw that before I left. I was like, what has he done in the last 2 years to earn that type of money? Like, that was like role player money. Like, you know what I'm saying? that was crazy. Shout out to getting his money. But
investigation is coming to Milwaukee. Yeah.
They have to be. Yeah, that was bad. That was, especially with that team and where they're at right now, it doesn't make sense to give him that type of money.
No. Oh, and Yaxel Lindborg.
Yeah. Oh.
Steve.
He should be playing.
He's old. I ain't no excuse for you to ruin this rookie.
Yeah, he's just starting 3. I think he's just starting 3.
I'll be honest with you. Why does Draymond Green need to start?
Come on, man. He's starting. Green's 4, KP's 5, Lindenbaum 3. I don't know who their 2 is. Maybe
Jimmy's hurt. Moody's hurt. So you know they love their guy Podziemski.
Yeah, and then Steph. So the one rookie that what's the rookie? No, the rookie, I would say 2 guys who need to put on weight. And
Nate Amen.
Yeah, he looked really small against some of the other guys in some. He looked really small.
But also
Keaton Wagler needs to put on.
Yeah.
Keaton, he had a bounce back game in one of the games, but just how small they guys looking at, and these are not the actual NBA players. And so I saw them, and I was just like, oh, yeah, those boys need to put away.
Yeah.
Those 2 guys need to put away. And Amen is going to be a project. Like, I want to be very clear about that. He's going to be a 2-3.
I told y'all. I told you. He's not an NBA player. Whoever told him to go one and done, yeah, that's terrible advice.
Yeah, he's definitely got it. But those two boys, I was watching them. I'm like, yeah, they need to hit the weight, put on 10 to 15 pounds of muscle.
I don't know how I feel about Yak2 after 3. I'd much rather him after 4, especially in Golden State system.
KP has to start.
Yeah, you're right.
Draymond.
Why does Draymond have to come back? Why? Like, tell me what does Draymond do for you besides give you a headache? Oh, that idiot. He ain't talking about some Steve came to me and said it's getting hard to defend you in public. And I told him don't. Yeah. And I saw such a weight lifted from his shoulders. Draymond, you're an idiot. That's not what you saw. What you saw was this man don't get it. Whatever, Draymond. Like, oh man, why does he have to come back? What does he do? He's not worth the headache.
They picked them as the cornerstones. Him and Steph. That was the two cornerstones. I don't know. I see your point, but
then he gonna be in the comments section. Yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. I went to Temple University, which is known for after-hour activities. I don't know if I've seen any woman possess the skills that Draymond does when it comes to LeBron. I mean, this man was in. No, I don't care, bro. This man was in the comment section. Somebody asking him, what's your role going to be if LeBron comes there? He's like, oh, I'm giving up my number, and I'm becoming PJ Tucker, best corner 3 shooter ever. Come on, bro. Like, they at Fan Fest. LeBron showing him something on his phone. I mean, you would have thought Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, and Bernie Mac just wrote the best joke of all time. The way Draymond was over there chuckling, but like, yo, do your knees not hurt? Does your throat not hurt? Is your mouth not dry? Like, give it a rest, bro. He has a wife. I don't think he needs Draymond Green too.
Yeah, that's
or unless that's how he getting down these days. Who knows? You know, Hollywood is its own little thing.
I don't know what Draymond's one of the most blessed people in life because it seems like he attached himself to Steph. He attached himself to LeBron James, and he on his podcast. I know you don't watch podcasts. Loves LeBron James. It's like weird love.
It is shameless glaze, bro. Like,
yeah,
it is approaching. Matter of fact, forget approaching. It's at down low levels, bro. Like you, he on the watch, bro. I don't care, bro. I'm saying it. It is disgusting. You got a son, Draymond. This is a terrible example to be setting for him, man. He should not be seeing this. Somebody call CPS on Draymond Green. This is nasty work. Disgusting work.
I can't even say it. Like I'm not. Who am I to?
Yeah, you gotta say it.
Defend. Yeah, I'm not defending him. I'm not defending him because it'd be weird. It'd be too weird. I don't get it.
Speaking of which, did you see the Heat ran a test run on their YouTube channel for July 27 LeBron James introductory press conference?
I saw that. I read it this morning. Like,
I think that's a terrible decision. LeBron, Giannis, and Bam is disgusting spacing. But whatever. I think you should just go to Philly and get this thing over with. Stop being an attention whore. You probably win the championship in Philly, to be honest with you.
You probably could win it. Yeah. They'll go to the. I think they'll be my favorites to go to the finals.
Yeah, I think they'd be my favorites to win it. I'll be honest with you.
I'm not mad about that.
Yeah, because LeBaron Philon, that was another guy I was impressed by in the summer league. Like what I saw from him. And that's coming off your bench now. Oof. But yeah, just what up, Ron? World Cup. Sean, I had a blast watching the World Cup this year, man. I had a blast.
The best. I'll be honest. I knew soccer, but I didn't know it in depth. But I watched so many games this year that I just was so in tune. And man, I was watching the game Argentina-Spain, the last game, we're at the sports bar inside the resort. That place was packed. Like everybody was there. You had Spain fans, Argentina fans, and everybody. Yo, I didn't even tell you this part of the story. So I'm sitting next to this. I was like the adopted Argentinian kid for one of these families. This family was like, sit here. There's no seat. And then my girl comes to next to me, and we start talking. They don't know Spanish, English. I don't know Spanish, but we just have a connection. We both were talking. Yo, we want Messi to win, right? Tell her, oh, I'm engaged now. Congratulations. They gave me big hugs when I left. You would think I knew these people for 20 years, but that's what soccer sometimes the sports brings you. And so I just think this is funny. And this is a PSA. It ain't that serious because look, when I watched the Knicks in the Knicks and Spurs finals, right after the
fans after the
started
game,
started beating up the Spurs fan. We're on a nice resort in Puerto Plata on vacation. These Argentinian fans and these Spain fans started fighting inside this, and kids are there too. One kid, I had to go hug him. He was crying when he had the Messi jersey. I was like, yo, it's okay, but he's just crying. I've been there when I was 12 years old. Shaq lost the finals. I don't know if you knew this. I was such a Magic fan, Penny and Shaq. I cried in 94 when Houston beat them. And my girl was like, yo, he's crying. So I go over to him. I was like, yo, buddy, it's okay. It's okay. These fans are fighting. And I was like, yo, it's just sports drama. Yo, I'm dead serious. That happened. I forgot about that. That was so funny. The liquor was flowing too. It was a celebration Tory weekend. The liquor was definitely flowing. But I'm telling you, these fans started beefing in a resort. And like, and everybody's like, yo, chill out. It's not that serious. It was amazing, yo. I'm a Messi guy. I got a Messi jersey. That's my guy. I think he's the GOAT. I think this World Cup proved he's the GOAT. But Spain was dominant. The Spain run was dominant.
The Spaniards played team football this tournament. They looked unstoppable. I chose them to win it. Once the final came around, Lamine Yamal, this is your sport now, man. Messi's on the way out. Ronaldo's over the hill. We saw how Harry Kane and those boys choked against Messi in Argentina. You own Mbappe. I mean, you got to fight back at some point, Killian. It's ridiculous. And Erling Haaland is very good. Don't get me wrong. There's no disrespect to him. He might be number 2. But Lamine Yamal, it's your sport now, brother.
Yeah, I think one last thing about the way it was done in different cities this time around in the United States. Shout out to the United States for how it was dope.
And Canada
and Mexico, excuse me. You're right. No disrespect to them. I just thought the level of high quality football that was being played, the intensities of the games, how impactful the games were. It made me a soccer fan. I can't lie. It made me a soccer fan. I was like, wow, this is impressive. I love it. I can't wait for the next World Cup. Like, I can't wait for the next World Cup. Very impressive. But it's sad. It was sad for me to see Messi go out like that. If he might have another run in him. He's 38. He might play in 4 more years. Who knows? Like, I don't know. But it was the most impressive soccer I ever seen. And just the last game was a depiction of what the whole run was. It was amazing.
I do want this to be assigned to the Americans. And nothing's going to change. I don't know why I'm wasting my breath. But you got idiots like Alexi Lalas when everyone in the world is saying the American system does not work. And then you got the prep kid who wants to keep it as the good old boys club and the exclusive club. Well, how are these people supposed to make their money? Our system's fine. No, it ain't. What's main man from Entertainment Tonight? The black brother. He be on Inside the Video now and then. Kevin Frazier. It's like, who is this guy? He's got to shut up. Because he wasn't good himself. And if that's the best that our system's producing, just know. But Kevin Frazier, he's like, yo, my kid plays soccer. He's a rich kid. And I tell my son, he can't play. Said I take him to the inner city and he gets his ass bust. He said, I live in LA. And my son plays for this expensive ass soccer team. And there's no Latinos on the team. How the hell does that work? That's not the best players aren't playing. It's like I take him to go play against them, and he gets his ass kicked. He said, "Man, if I put him on the team with the Latinos, and he had to come off the bench, he had to earn some playing time. Like he didn't play the first few games. First of all, need more parents like Kevin Frazier.
That'd be real. That'd be real with your kids.
And number two, yeah, like come on, man, you got to make the sport accessible. Like our best athletes do not play soccer, and you're getting out of baseball because baseball has moved out of the black community. It's become way too expensive. Traveling baseball is expensive. No youth sport should be expensive. Period. Like, let's get back to making soccer. Well, we get back to baseball being accessible. And for the first time in this country's history, soccer needs to be accessible. Sean, I went to middle school in Baltimore County. If you've never been to Baltimore County, especially the southern part of the county and the western part of the county, I was in the southern part of the county. Brother, that is a safe haven for immigration. You want to see all types of Africans, all types of Islanders, all types of Asians, all types of Middle Easterns. And when I say them kids couldn't speak 2 sentences of English, but boy, they could kick the hell out of a soccer ball, and they had their citizenship, I'm talking recess. You had all us Americans playing football and basketball. You peek over at them soccer games, and you'd see something.
Yeah.
No, and them kids can't get in.
Yeah, I get it. I get
man,
it.
You gotta let these cats play.
You gotta let them play. I dated this girl. She was Salvadorian, and man, they were a bunch of her family, and they'd be out, and they were older, and they could play. You can tell the level, and they would play because it's a way of life at certain communities in certain places. For the U.S. to get to that level, it's kind of like when we talk about baseball in Miami. It's just like, hey, it just makes sense. You have to let them play. You have to get more Latinos involved because it's just different. The culture is different. It's a way of life over there. It's a way out.
And it's funny because when I went to high school in Harford County with a bunch of white kids that had money, and I'm watching them play and think they're good. I'm like, y'all got nothing on them kids. I just them broke immigrants I just saw. And I mean, I'm telling these kids getting their heads gassed up, and they playing for some expensive ass travel programs and stuff like this. I'm like, boy, if I brought everybody from my middle school up here, I mean, y'all might get 3-0. Like, it's really that big of a gap in terms of who we have playing and who does not have the accessibility to the sport. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and they made it like where Lexus Law. What's his name? Alexi Lawless.
Alexi Lawless, bro.
Yeah. I don't know what he brings to the coverage. He was just like,
let's talk about that. He's the reason Ibrahimovic isn't coming back.
Okay.
Let's be honest, bro. Even he was like, this is my first time, this is my last time. First of all, Zlatan did seem uninterested the whole time. and I'm be honest with you, sitting next to Alexi Lawless probably will do that to you. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Now Thierry Henry doesn't have any personality either. That's just me. I think his personality shines best when he's with his normal job on CBS when he's got the one black brother trolling him the whole time. I wasn't the biggest fan of that studio crew. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, the crew.
Rob Stone's crew was a little better than the crew we had with Zlatan and Thierry and Lawless. But yeah, like, come on, we don't need Alexi Lawless on coverage. We don't need him involved in the soccer federation. None of it. Just get him away. Yeah. Just people like him are the reason why American soccer is never going to take this step. And Christian Pulisic, again, I said it on this podcast, but I'll say it again. What do you do? Like, they stopped calling him Captain America, man.
It's like he's like ordained. He was like picked. You know what I mean? But it's different between being picked. Exactly. It's a difference between being picked and actually being, like you say about the face of the NBA. It's actually be taking it instead of be given it. It's two different things. Two huge different things. And I don't know. The U.S. needs their guy, and I don't know who that guy is. Like I'm not that deep into it like that, but they need their guy to be the face and so on. But the level of talent, the difference between
Yeah.
just the Belgium game in the U.S.
Yeah.
The talent is different, man.
And the league, the Major League Soccer.
Yeah.
They don't play soccer. I don't know what sport it is they play, but it ain't soccer. That's got to change too. The system from top to bottom is broken.
And I get they want to keep kids, the guys want to stay home side, but you got to be playing in Europe. You got to be playing as the best, I think, to get that. To that.
Oh, yeah. What Ibrahim would say his last few years when he went to MLS, he's like, this kid, y'all trying to compare him to me. When I was his age, I was one of the best players in the world in Europe.
That's what I'm saying.
He's over here in MLS with an old version of me, and you can't even say he's better than me. Stop it.
It's like levels.
That's it right there.
Yeah, there's levels where you want to be the best. You got to be in the best. And that's just what it. Messi can come over here and be part of MLS, but that's just a band-aid. It's not top tier. It's not the Euro leagues. So it's kind of is what it is.
All right, you got anything else?
Nah, man. Just finished birthday month strong. You on PTO? You about to have some time off?
Yeah.
College football starts in a month. Yeah, and it's football. I hate the summer ending, but man, do I love to have Saturdays and Sundays back when it's football.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Let's see. ESPN dead wrong for how you fired Ryan Clark. And I got the scoop that Kurt Warner's homeboy had something to do with it. Where is it? Okay, no. Kurt leaked it to Outkick. Him and Burke Magnus, I've seen, leaked it to Outkick. And now, lo and behold, Kurt Warner's probably going to be the guy who replaces Ryan Clark on Monday Night Football coverage. First of all, Monday Night Countdown, excuse me. So Kurt, that's super slimy. I had to unfollow Kurt like 2 years ago. He got too much. I don't know. His Twitter's a little too much for me in terms of whatever. His son, cool peoples. EJ is great. Kurt, sure he's a nice guy. Just ain't my cup of tea. And then they're going to replace Clark in studio with Kyle Brink, Pete Schrager's homeboy. And we already know the Pete Schrager, Ryan Clark stuff from a few months back. That is slimy. Ryan Clark built what your NFL coverage is right now. He built NFL.
He did. Yeah.
And you fired him in the middle of that show. But the
thing is, let's keep it a buck. And no disrespect, but I gotta be real. Mina Kimes and Dan Orlovsky are the worst in that show.
Thank you.
I don't know how much you're making. I don't know the numbers. I'm going to be
Orlovsky shares an agency with Josh Allen, and he is one of their errand boys. So they're never going to get rid of. So ESPN's not going to get rid of him because all the football partners want to be in with Josh Allen for some reason. So he was never going to go anywhere. But yeah, come on now. Mina Kimes can't even contribute in the original thought. It's all off of the analytics say this and the data says this. It's ridiculous.
I read somewhere the president came out. What's the president's name? You know him.
Burke Magnus or Jimmy Pitaro? Which one?
Jimmy Pitaro. It was overlapping coverage because we took the NFL Network and now we have the old personnel. So we had to trim some of those people, right? But
you got rid of Tom Pelissero and Charles Davis.
Didn't.
Well, come on, man. Now Charles is going to be fine because he's number one. He's replacing Gary Danielson as number one on CBS's broadcast team. He's going to be with Brad Nessler. So he'll be fine.
He'll be fine. Exactly.
But Charles Davis is a staple of NFL draft coverage. And he's great at it. Him and Daniel Jeremiah, it doesn't get better than those two and Bucky Brooks. You got rid of him?
I thought it was going to be separated. I thought it was going to be NFL Network, ESPN. But now the cross branding it. And I'm like, I didn't think this was going to be, I thought it was going to be keep it the same. But it's under one network, one thing. But what I was going to say is Ryan Clark can talk other sports and other social issues. So to me, it was like, well, he's kind of different from all the other NFL Network and ESPN NFL because he could do other things. He has
I'm be honest with you. I'm sick of seeing him do other things. No, stick to football. Shannon Sharp, stick to football. Marcus Spears is the one I can listen to with basketball. At least he played college basketball.
His son is nice too.
And his son, I can see him for myself, to be honest with you, because every time I look at a clip, I don't see a jumper. So
no, definitely don't have it. He doesn't.
That concerns me. So yeah, I'll wait on that. But I don't know. I didn't like that. Cam Newton, yeah, I understood him going.
Yeah,
Cam, I hate how Cam just tries to get up there, take forever to make a point, and try to sound smarter than he is, and thinks he's cooking. It's awful. I can't watch the podcast because Cam Newton just had to go. I'll be honest with you.
Cam is good in his spot and what he does.
Whoever likes that, yeah, they can handle.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like him, his own situation.
Yeah. Carl Ravitch, like I said yesterday in the group chat, you don't do baseball anymore.
Baseball's dead over there.
Yep. So what am I paying him for? SEC basketball for 2 months?
No.
And the Little League World Series for what, 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Yeah, Carl, sorry. Gotta go. Like nobody watches baseball tonight anymore because MLB tonight's so great.
I haven't watched baseball.
And I'll be honest with you, the booth of Carl Ravitch, Eduardo Perez, and whoever the third person is, because they change it every year, stinks to me. It's never done anything for me. So that was the move out of all of them yesterday. Carl Ravitch and Cam Newton were the two I understood completely.
Yeah, no, I wasn't mad about that. I can't. Cam in that environment. No. But again, I still don't think, and again, I don't hate Smart. My boy knows Dan Orlovsky personally because they played college at UConn together. I just don't think he's good. No, and I think that's the thing. And one last thing, I gotta say this. They got rid of Ryan Clark, so his salary could go to Pat McAfee. Relax. I do think I put respect on people who build things. Pat McAfee's platform is completely different from what these individuals do on ESPN and on NFL Network. He built a whole thing outside of the ecosystem, and then they bought into it. I just think it's two different things, and I don't think you should.
Every time somebody gets fired, the go-to is more money for McAfee and Stephen A. Like, all right, it was funny it was funny when it first started. It's kind of getting old now. Now those are two people I don't watch, and I'd be glad when Stephen A. leaves sports, but whatever.
Yeah, those are the head honchos. They're going to get paid the most money. It's like a salary cap. They're going to get paid the most. It's just what it is. Those are the two guys bring the most views. They're going to get paid the most. But I just do think it's like he brings a whole show. No, if the pivot was on ESPN, that's completely different. But you bring a whole show that's 5 days a week. It's completely different. Someone does an hour. It's some sports center. So before the first takes, I think it's night and day.
Oh, and they got rid of my boy Bart Scott. Man, Bart's always going to have work in New York. And man,
it's whatever, man.
I rocks with Bart. Maybe it's the Raven in me. I love Bart Scott, man. That's my dog right there.
No, I wouldn't have been mad if they got rid of. I'm gonna keep it a buck. The whole NFL countdown crew, and just replace with the whole NFL Network crew. So I would have got Rex.
I don't watch Sunday Countdown. Who was it? Randy Moss, Teddy Bruschi, Rex Ryan, and Alex Smith. It just don't do it for me.
And exactly. I would have got rid of all
Greenberg, bro. My pops hates Mike Greenberg, bro. He's sick of seeing him everywhere. He's sick of hearing his voice, and I'm right with him at this point.
Exactly. I would have got rid of the whole crew and then just kept the NFL because is Rich Eisen.
Was
Kirk
Steve Mariucci, Kurt Warner, Gerald McCoy.
That's why
I would bring Michael Irvin back.
Bring Michael back. That would be my team. I gotta keep it up. Just saying.
All right, well, that's all we got for today. So we'll probably be back in about 2 weeks and start with the NFL schedule. So enjoy your last couple days of July.